Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Going In Deep, the official broadcast of the Uranus Awards. My name's Zach, and joining with me are my co-hosts Mike and Max. Xander Kozak is out for the week. He is in Sweden, I think.
Yeah, I wish I was there.
So we miss him a lot. He'll be back next week for a really special, great episode,
Which we'll announce at the end.
We also want to say Happy Mean Girls Day.
What?
How dare you?
It's October 3rd.
Nope. We're gonna skip that. I love that. That's like one of your favorite movies.
It's a classic.
Yeah. Okay.
So bring us up to speed, Max.
So, okay. Are you wondering what this is? Well, let me tell you something. Every week, Going In Deep, we'll be doing a podcast here at Mill Iron Studios in New York City. We'll be breaking down and discussing sci-fi, comic book, horror, fantasy, and any other movie that is eligible for the Uranus Awards. And that awards ceremony will be live streamed right here at Mill Iron Studios in New York City on January 14th, 2018. I think that's it.
So today,
End of the episode.
today I believe it's today I think is our last major episode where we're doing 4 movies
Like the big episodes with like multiple.
with way too many movies because we started this podcast way too late in the year.
Like halfway through.
Yeah, but don't worry, next year is going to be like, and as the kids say, lit.
So welcome to the animated episode. Today we're going to be talking about Captain Underpants, Despicable Me 3, Lego Batman, and Lego Ninjago.
It's exciting.
Oh boy.
I live for animated movies.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, we do have more animated movies eligible, but we do not have enough time to cover them.
Yeah.
So if you guys liked The Judas Contract or Batman and Harley
Teen
Quinn.
Titans.
Yeah.
Was that? Oh, yeah.
That was
That
the
was
Judas
the
Contract.
Judas,
yeah.
Oh, Justice League Dark. Go ahead and
you go.
vote for those too. But
They'll still be eligible. Everything is eligible. That is on our website, and that is on our letterbox page.
man, I'm just not excited for this episode.
Oh.
Some of these movies
tell.
were a lot of fun, but I just didn't love any of these.
It's okay.
I
You don't know
sure
how to have
did.
fun.
You right, Mike.
The saddest part is it makes me feel like my childhood is dead, but then again, I think my childhood died after seeing the last Harry Potter movie.
Let's not talk about that, because I will cry. So what 4 movies are we doing, Mike? What are we doing? We just said that.
just
Yeah, we
said that.
Shut up! Shut up!
Keep up.
What are we starting with, Mike?
What are we starting with? Captain Underpants?
What was that one about, Mike?
Oh, shit. It was about Captain Underpants. Tra-la-la!
That vibrato.
Got,
Yeah, tell us about this.
So we got George and Harold, 2 kids who make comic books. And they turn their principal into one of their heroes. Or one of the heroes that they created. Captain Underpants!
Can you do the tra-la-la again?
Tra-la-la!
I'm dead.
I could listen to that on fucking repeat.
Ed Helms did.
He did great work. He did great work.
So yeah, it's fun, lighthearted comedy romp with a little fake superhero. I'm not really sure how to describe this actually.
I mean, that was pretty. I mean, it's based on like the books that I believe those books were in the 90s, right?
Oh, I grew
They
up
were
on those.
created?
I definitely
Yeah,
grew up
so
on
like we
those
grew
books.
up on them, and then I was so happy when they announced that this was going to be a movie, because I had always I read all the books as a kid, and then when that I got to see these characters that I had pictured in my mind for years actually come to the screen, and I was really excited about it. And
Do kids still read those books?
yeah,
They have to.
oh yeah, no, I babysit a kid, and those books are still out. They're in the library. I think you remember the Scholastic bookstore,
Oh,
the
man.
greatest day on earth.
So, fun fact, we broadcast live from here in Mill Iron Studios in New York City. None of us are actually from New York City.
That's true.
Nobody in New York is from New York.
That
though.
that is true.
Or that's what they say.
So
at least.
I'm from Southern California. Mike is from Connecticut, Amnesty Bay, Connecticut, and
Shut the fuck up.
and Max is from Ohio.
Cleveland.
Did you guys have the Scholastic book fairs at your school?
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Yeah.
What?
Is that a thing? I
I went to public school. I don't know about you guys.
I
Did
went
you
to public
not?
school. No, I did, and that was the shit where you bring home
Oh my god, so good.
Yeah.
But the good thing about it, the good thing about it was like there was just like so many books that I'm never gonna read.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of crap books.
But
Oh,
the
yeah.
pictures were cool, and it had like, a picture of Captain America on the cover. So I was like, oh, I want that. Oh, this one has Captain Underpants. I've read his books before that my mom read to me, actually. I want that. Oh, there's a Harry Potter sticker book. I want 20 of those.
yeah, of course, you gotta have backups.
Right. It was such a good day. And I was babysitting my kid last year, and the Scholastic Book Fair was at pickup, and I literally freaked out.
So
It was so good.
So I guess going with that, that's one thing I did enjoy about this movie.
Did or didn't?
I did.
Great.
It was very nostalgic,
Totally.
I felt like watching the movie. They do a lot of things where I just look back and I'm like, oh, I remember that from the book when I was a kid. That's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have much else to say.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
All right. That was exciting.
All right, that was going in deep, going dark.
Literally.
The voice acting's good, I guess. Ed Helms.
I thought it was a stellar cast.
Here's one that threw me for a loop. Jordan Peele played Melvin. I did not pick that up at all when I was watching it.
I can see that.
This is stuff that I had to look up, like, way after. Like, if I can say one thing about all these movies, they have, like, crazy casts. If you, like, break down, like, who's in it.
Yes.
This movie was just very targeted for kids.
But I think a lot of adults saw it.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's a kid's movie.
Okay, so maybe that's why I had this awkward feeling about it. Is I enjoyed the movie, but when I went to see it, I saw it alone, and it was just like,
I did too.
it was me looking like a creeper and a bunch of like families with their young children. It was just a very uncomfortable situation.
I really love this movie. I'll talk about the director for, why not? David Soren also did Turbo, Shark Tale, Captain Underpants. He also just did Baby Boss this year. And I really enjoy, like, all of those movies that I just said, I really enjoyed.
He
And
just does kids movies.
What? It looks like it, yeah. But I really enjoy his movies, and I really enjoyed Captain Underpants. Again, it was so nostalgic. I think the voice acting was top notch. I think, Kevin Hart is so fucking ridiculous. His voice is... It's iconic at this point. It's like, whatever. So, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed myself. I think the dumb kid humor, I love that kind of stuff. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the plot. It was like, it was Poopy Pants. It was his story.
Professor P.
Professor P. So, you get like his story, and there's like lots of other stories like with the toilet and whatever, but I like that they chose this. I hope that they make more of them.
See,
I would watch it.
Even the villain Nick Kroll. I'm a big fan of Nick Kroll.
Oh,
so
yeah.
part of me felt like a big thing this had going for it was literally just that I liked the actors behind the voices more than necessarily I liked what they were doing in this film. Like Nick Kroll, I'm a big fan of The League.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you guys watch The League?
No.
Yeah.
He's Ruxin.
Yeah, of course.
I freaking love Ruxin. So
There's the
I feel like
Kroll
just
show.
having that gave me like a little bit of a bias plus the nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I feel like it's hard to really critically judge this film because it has things about it that I like, but it's literally like face value things that I would like even if I'd never seen the movie. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like themes or like plot points.
Like if I told you, hey, go see this movie, it has several actors that you like, and it's based on a book that you used to read as a little kid,
Mm-hmm.
you'd probably be all for it, right?
Yeah, I mean...
But it's going to give you some level of bias. And that's the thing, too, though, is like, if I think about it, is like, if I had kids, absolutely, I'd let them watch this movie because why not? But I don't think this is one of those movies I would like go out of my way to make sure my kids see. Like, this is going to be part of your childhood.
Mm.
Hmm.
Well, you also have a different experience with that because you were you read the comics when you were younger, and like say if you had children, they may not have been introduced to it before, so they're like less excited about it than say like Legos or like the Lego movies.
That's true, and I guess that's why I asked in part, like, do kids still read Captain Underpants? Because Captain Underpants, when it came out for, our age group when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie didn't really cater to our age group. Like Power Rangers is a great example. Power Rangers, the show, came out when we were kids, but going to see the movie, like, it knew who its audience was.
Yeah.
It made it a little more mature, but in a way that is still fun for kids, but it's also fun for adults.
That's also a series that's still ongoing too. Like, it's on like every Saturday or like Sunday on the
This
weekends.
movie was just targeted to kids, though.
Yeah,
I don't disagree.
I mean, that's a tough one. Like, it's very much for children, but as like an adult who read it when they were younger, it's like hard to, like, I don't know. There's like a balance, I guess. Like, do I want to go see it? Do I not want to go see it? Will I be awkward, like, in the theater? Like,
I
is
think
it
it's
appropriate?
different. We'll talk about this with Despicable Me. Despicable Me is for adults and kids.
Yeah.
You think so?
Comparatively.
Completely agree.
Okay.
It's different, but I understand what you're saying. Despicable Me, it is for kids because it's an animated movie, but it's for adults as well. So like, I don't know a better way of like explaining or comparing, but I think that's a good comparison.
I get you.
Also, I just want to throw out a stat. Their budget was $38 million. It grossed for $110.
38
It's
sounds high,
profitable.
actually.
That is great.
Have they confirmed the sequel? I mean, I feel like those numbers.
Well,
vouch
we'll
for
get
a
to that
sequel.
post later.
That's the first epic movie.
Spoilers? Is there really any spoilers to talk about?
No.
Whatever happens to Professor Poopy Pants? Do we know what happens to him?
Well, he doesn't even come until about halfway through, but...
Right.
Well, okay, let's just do it, I guess.
Spoiler. Way-ho.
Boop and boop.
Yep.
So, anyway, talk about the story a little bit more, I guess. George and Harold, they're best friends. And like I mentioned before, they make comics. They create this character, Captain Underpants. And through a couple scenes, we get to George coming across a hypnotic ring, lets him turn their mean old evil principal into the Captain Underpants. And there's some hijinks involved. And eventually we get introduced to Professor P, who we later find out is Professor Poopy Pants. And then he doesn't like his name, people laugh at him, he gets angry about that, and he tries to destroy the school and the town or city or whatever it is. I mean, it's a simple plot, but it's how they go about presenting it that makes it, like, all ages appropriate and can reach a wider audience.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of fart jokes, but they're not like just straight. Well, I mean, I've laughed a bunch of times to some of the childish jokes that they had. I mean, we're on the Uranus Awards, guys.
I mean, anytime it says
Oh,
poop, I laugh. Literally.
Fun fact, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we got our name Uranus Awards from this movie, right? I mean, that was my assumption.
Obviously.
Uranus.
Yeah, I guess there's not really like a spoiler section with this movie because it's just like your standard child movie. It's just
I appreciate they did the Flip-O-Rama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was a cool callback from my childhood.
And their hands are like moving the pages, and
I guess, again, this movie, the two things this movie had going for it was a great cast, which, again, I don't even know how good of a job they really did. But a lot of the movie was just like hey, remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, remember that? Hey, this was the thing in these books.
Right. Yeah. It's a great movie. It was fun. I was also just reading a stat that it was the lowest budget computer animated feature of DreamWorks animation history.
lowest budget. What?
Make it the yeah.
That's kind of funny because I thought it was amazingly well animated.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
This is from www.wikipedia.com. It's an unknown source. If you haven't checked out Wikipedia, you should check it out.
What's Wikipedia?
We are not sponsored by Wikipedia.
So I guess what would you change to this if you could? Would you change anything?
Nothing really.
That's a really tough one because I didn't have a huge amount of problems with the movie. Like the cast was great, the animation was great.
Mm-hmm.
sound. Like, there's nothing really I could complain about, except I kind of lost interest a little bit towards the end. Maybe if they had made it shorter, just because it went, I felt like it started to like drag on by the end. I was like, okay, they need to.
Well, how long did it take you to read those books? It was like,
I mean, I only read like the
15 minutes
first
or
one
something.
anyway.
Whoa, you were a fast reader, dude.
I mean, I haven't read it in a long time, so maybe I'm wrong because I know I'm a pretty slow reader.
I think it took me the course of like 2 weeks.
To read one Captain Underpants book?
Dude, I'm a slow reader.
That can't be right.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Obviously, they had to add a lot of content in.
Where's this going? I hope they make a sequel. I think it made enough money. There's no reason why they shouldn't. If it made that much money, there's so many stories that they could do off of this. Got a great cast. I haven't heard or seen anything that says they're making one. It's very possible I just missed it.
How many
books
parents are going to take their kids to see more and more Captain Underpants movies, do you think?
I mean, you could apply that same logic to anything. If it's like big, like Pokemon movies, or like back in the day, Digimon, or like.
I can tell you right now, like the kid that I babysit saw this, and he was like, "That was the greatest movie I've ever seen." So like, I saw Rock Dog with him, and he was like, "That was the greatest movie I've ever seen." And then he saw Despicable Me, he's like, "That was the greatest thing." So he would see this forever. Kids would keep seeing this.
That's cute.
I would keep seeing this.
I think it would work better as a TV show, like on like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or whatever.
But if you made enough money, like, why not?
That also brings quality down, though. Like, you know, they were able to fit in a lot of good jokes. The writing was like fairly solid. It didn't seem like weird or like out of place.
It's hard to see like which movies you can just continuously pump out and which ones you can't.
Sure. I think that they could. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. But I think they should. I think that kids would really like it.
I mean, look at Star Wars, right?
What?
So
What's Star Wars?
The original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, those movies came out about a movie would come out and then it'd be like 3 years till the next one, right? Now they're doing basically one a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Force Awakens was, great. Rogue One is, in retrospect, probably one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
Same.
Okay.
We'll do that in a bonus episode.
So far,
about Rogue One.
My point is that so far this one a year is working.
Totally.
I don't know if that's gonna die or not. It might just take one bad film for it to die. But another thing too you have to consider it has going for it is the time of year it comes out. I think the fact that it comes out in December when there's not a crazy amount of competition until like Christmas Day, and people just tend to be in better spirits because of holidays and stuff. I think that has another thing going for it. But I don't think you could apply that same logic to a Captain Underpants movie every year.
I don't think they need to make it every year, but I think that they should make sequels.
Yeah. So a couple of little stats. It was first published in 1997.
Sounds right.
And as far as like the main series of Captain Underpants novels, just a quick look over Wikipedia says that there's 12. So there's a lot more material for them to use.
Wow.
And they could now that the movie came out, they could start writing way more if they wanted to.
Yeah, actually talking about it like this, I fully expect there to be like at least 2 or 3 more movies.
If not books.
Or books, yeah.
Shall we move on to... we kind of already talked about it. Would you recommend it?
If you're trying to distract your kids while you go do something else, then yeah.
Sure.
I don't.
So you don't see it in theaters. Go like rent it at home, iTunes or whatever.
Yeah, like again, like I don't even have kids, but I feel like this would be the kind of movie that I would like put on the TV and then go do my own thing in the other room or something like that. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Great parenting. We'll get to that in Lego Ninjago.
We'll get to that.
That was brilliant.
I mean, you can't even see it in theaters anymore, so
Sure.
That's
that
fine.
argument's kind of moot.
But
I love that word.
I mean, I would not recommend it, but I would definitely watch it with a kid or like put it on for a kid or something.
See, I
like
said
that.
hypothetically if I had kids. You're just like I would watch it with any kid.
No, I
With
mean,
all
like,
the kids that like he's like Mike just like goes up to kids and he's like, hey, wanna watch a movie?
So fun fact, we got our name Uranus Awards from this movie, but what really sold us was that the side of Mike's van actually says "Free Captain Underpants" books
yeah, of
inside.
course.
So does mine.
I
Mine's a
love dressing
plane.
up as Captain Underpants. Sometimes I don't wear the whole outfit, but it's mostly there.
He sometimes adds a top hat. I for sure would recommend this. Mainly, I don't know if it's because I'm a babysitter, but like
And an uncle.
what?
And an uncle.
And an uncle. I would love. Oh my god, I would love to watch this with my niece one
See,
day.
there you go.
But as far as like a 25-year-old dude, I would recommend it. Unfortunately, you can't go see it in theaters, but I don't think it's a movie that you need to like see in theaters. But I think it's a good sit down watch it. I don't think you need to like just like let your kid or background like get homework done or like, you know, go on your computer or like play an app while watching the movie. I was like, no, you could enjoy this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Nominations, my friends.
Best voice acting, Ed Helms. Best fight sequence, Captain Underpants versus the giant monster toilet.
I like that. Best
Sure
fight
was.
sequence.
That's it. Just those two for me.
I for sure have it for best animated feature film. Best voiceover work for Kevin Hart as George and Ed Helms as Captain Underpants. Funniest moment, anytime he said tra-la-la. And best movie poster.
Okay.
That's
I
it.
like that. It's a good one.
Are you guys promoting it for best picture?
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. He's supposed to do his nominations.
I'm sorry. I just
Jumping
want to
the
stop
gun
talking about this
here.
movie already.
Actor in a supporting role, Nick Kroll.
Okay.
Best voiceover work, Ed Helms, Kevin Hart. The most complex villain? No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait, right? I mean, you do you. What else? If
Let's
anything.
see. I don't know. It's hard for me to like give nominations for this just because like I was kind of bored at the end is the big problem.
So that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
All right.
I do not have this for best picture.
No, absolutely not.
It's a no from me, Frank.
I mean, it's fun, but
What's your final score? Would you give it?
I give it 3.
3.5.
I gave it 4.5.
Wow.
Oh my
Y'all,
God.
I was
Wow.
living for this movie. I sat in the theater by myself. There was a
Yeah.
kid in front of me. I was laughing with this kid. It was great.
My God.
Yeah, I'm a big dork for these kind of movies. Speaking of dorks and other movies, let's talk about Despicable Me.
Oh boy.
How do we even approach this one?
Well, Zach, do you want to ask Mike a question?
Mike.
God damn it.
Plot twist, Max. What was it about?
Girl, no, that's not my job.
Double plot twist, Mike. What was it about?
M. Night Shyamalan'd me. Despicable Me 3 is a hour something long movie with lots of CGI and explosions
right now.
and spikes and traps and bombs and bubblegum.
Okay,
and
so
lots
let's
of
let's
bubblegum.
start over. What was the movie about, Mike?
Okay. That was my rewind.
I know what
We
that
got it.
was.
Okay. Despicable Me 3 is a movie starring Trey Parker while he does a lot of 80s moves and 80s references.
You don't remember what the movie's about, do you?
I think that guy from The Office was in this, and maybe also like a couple of minor.
I have a
Girl
question. What was this
voice-
plot about, though?
What was the plot?
Do you remember this movie, Mike?
I remember this movie.
So what was the plot about?
It was Trey Parker
You
doing
said that.
a lot of 80s things.
Oh my God.
No, okay, I'm just kidding. So,
Are you?
Gru, he's like,
Hate
this is
you.
a long time ago when I saw this movie. So, Gru, he's played by Steve Carell. We're getting serious now. And he finds out that he has a brother. And he gets his brother's help to take down the bad guy, whose name honestly escapes me. All I know is that he was played by
Balthazar Brat.
Balthazar, there we go. Balthazar wants to take over Hollywood or like destroy Hollywood or something, or like get revenge on them because as a child star, he got like insulted and like kicked off his show, and he's turned into a supervillain because of it. Honestly, kind of shallow, but it was
honestly shallow on his part too.
It was a halfway entertaining movie though. But yeah, that about sums it up. Guru's a supervillain. Well, he's an ex-supervillain. He's a superhero now. He's got a lot of gadgets, and
he has 3 girls.
3 girls. Oh, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna try. I can't do that. Where's Xander when you need him? Do a Steve Carell.
Sweden.
Pay attention.
Is that it?
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I had
God, those
no
explanations were
interest
great.
in seeing any of the Despicable Me films, and then Max was like, you need to go see the Despicable Me 3. So I was like, all right. So I watched the first Despicable Me. Then I went to see this.
What do you think of the first one? Because I loved it and I cried.
Well, after watching the first one and then seeing the third one, I immediately went home and watched the second one. I really like these movies.
Yay!
I don't know why.
Yay!
I think my theory is that these movies are surprisingly dark. They have a lot of the kind of violence that like the classic Looney Tune cartoons had.
Sure.
Because like if you watch all 3 of them, the minions get kind of like killed a lot, or like
zapped, or like
like sent off into space and they just don't come back for them, or
Yep.
like hit with hard objects.
Yeah.
So these movies are a lot of fun, and like as much as this is a kids movie, it's fun for adults, and there's some like sweet tender moment between Gru and his girls.
Always.
You know? I liked the Drew and Gru dynamic.
Oh, so good.
I thought it was cool that they kind of carried on the trend that each movie is about the family growing a little bit bigger.
Is that a theme?
Yeah, so the first movie he adopts these 3 girls, and the whole. Did you watch the first ones?
A long time ago.
So the whole
I haven't even seen the second.
So these girls are in an orphanage and they're selling cookies, and his rival supervillain or something, he figures out that his rival supervillain likes the cookies, so he adopts the girls just to get into the other supervillain's lair. Like he's kind of an asshole.
He's an idiot.
So then the second one is him and the girls, and he basically, long story short, gets a girlfriend. And then this one, then they have like an uncle with his twin brother.
Oh yeah.
So each movie kind of expands the family a little bit more. So there's those family themes and stuff. And I really liked the villain in this one.
You're really
not just
excited
because
about
it's
this.
Trey Parker, but I appreciated all the 80s references.
Those are fun.
There's so many good 80s references. That I honestly have no spoiler likes or dislikes because it's just a cartoon movie. But I will say for all 3 of these movies, the minions are both the funniest part and the least funny part. What I mean by that is, if you notice, the funny parts with minions is when the minions are with main characters and something bad happens to them. Any scene with the minions by themselves is kind of annoying and not as funny.
Oh, I think you are so wrong. The jail scene
wasn't as funny.
That was kinda funny, though.
that was probably my favorite part of the movie.
They're like working out at
And they're
the
just
gym.
they're like in charge of the gym and the jail.
They're tattooing each other.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I don't know. I just kind of like my minions as like
Minions.
I mean, I got a chuckle out of me.
I like them as the red shirts of the Despicable Me universe.
That was
that
was an interesting reference.
Who are the red shirts, Max?
Shut up.
Mike got it.
There we go.
Well, you talking about like the war?
No.
No, Star Trek, dude.
Red shirts in
I
Star
thought you were
Trek always die. like crazy.
Yeah,
now.
if anyone's wearing a red shirt in Star Trek, their purpose is just to die.
Except Scotty.
I'm not a Trekkie, which is fine. Yeah, I love these movies. I think they're all so great. Again, the first one I cried. I think this one was so sweet. It had its tender moments. Steve Carell's a goddamn genius with this character.
He
just proved his voice over chops, adding Drew to it. I really don't even recognize his voice when I'm listening to this movie. I'm like, I don't really kind of hear you, but not really.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
So I appreciated him, and I appreciated anytime the Minions are on. It's just great. It's really great work overall. Mike, what do you think about this movie? What did you like / dislike?
For this, it's similar to Captain Underpants because it's hard for me to like go back and describe this movie. Not only because it's been a while since I've seen it, but it's something that you just kind of need to watch to kind of either get or don't get, appreciate, you don't appreciate, that's fine. But it's not a story that's like complicated that I can really get into detail of.
Sure.
But it was like an enjoyable ride.
Yeah.
Little fun fact, at least for me, was this is the first movie I saw in a drive-through. Or a drive-through? What would you call it?
Drive-in.
No, I'm calling drive-through from now on.
God damn it.
Just keep going. You can try and look at the movie while you're going.
Drive-in theater. So that was fun for me. Because we rolled up and like just put the little speaker on the window and like hung out. I thought that was pretty cool. No, that was no, not involved. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. That's all I can really say about it. It kept me entertained. Most of the jokes were pretty funny. Maybe I feel like also similar to Captain Underpants, I kind of began to lose interest a little bit towards the end. But it had some tender moments as well. Like you said, with
unlike Captain Underpants, I feel like these movies, maybe it's just the darker kind of humor, but these are movies that I would actually enjoy watching with my hypothetical, theoretical kids.
Oh, so this one you would watch with them, not put on and then leave the room.
Right. Hey, you know what? My mom used to leave me in the car, so they're lucky.
Oh, well, that took a turn.
But wait, you keep saying dark. I don't really get how this is so much darker than like.
I don't really see the dark. I get more grown up. I don't see how it's dark.
Yeah,
there's more people physically hurting each other in these movies. That's what I mean by dark. And one of the big criticism in today's society of the old like Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes kind of cartoons is that they're too violent, they're too physical. This is kind of a return to classic cartooning, and that's why I appreciate it.
I mean, I guess there were more nut shots or like people getting smacked over the head with maces, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really get the darkness.
By dark, I just mean the violence.
Oh, I mean, Steve Carell and Kristen Wiig had a couple dirty jokes, I think, between them, like adult jokes.
Yeah.
Again, why this movie was like more, unlike Captain Underpants, adult and kid friendly. I feel like for all 4 of these movies that we're reviewing, we're not really gonna have like a spoiler section. We're probably just like gonna breeze through it.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot to spoil.
I guess I'll say just like if you're still listening, don't expect like a woo woo for a spoiler section, and we're kind of just like breezing through, right?
Yeah.
What other I was just looking at something. Again, $80 million budget. This movie made $1 billion.
What?
Worldwide.
Wow.
Worldwide, y'all.
This is the 3rd one too.
Yeah. So 4th technically because of Minions.
Yeah, I guess.
But like still, it's the same spin-off kind of thing.
Yeah.
This movie made a fucking $1 billion.
That's crazy. Well, look at how big the Minions are.
They're huge. Everyone wants one.
Yeah.
I want one. I want a little stuffed animal of one.
Like a Furby or something?
No. Furby scared the shit out of me. Those McDonald's toys, when they gave those out, I said, no thank you. I do not want a Happy Meal.
Have you guys seen totally random, but speaking of adorable, have you guys seen the Porgs from Star Wars Episode 8 yet?
The what?
No, we've talked about this, but I mean, yes, I have. But I'm trying to not look at.
Aren't they
stuff.
adorable though?
I don't even know what they look like off the top of my head because I didn't want to look.
Wait, pogs?
Porgs.
Like the little coins that you would like flip? And...
Porgs. They're little
pogs.
aliens that they showed a picture of. I have no
That's
idea.
getting off topic though. But
Yeah, Zach and
but
your
adorable side
spoiling
characters.
movies
Yeah,
that we're
sure.
gonna see.
we'll see that in Star Wars, The Last Jedi.
Jetties.
Is there any? Zach has just showed us what these little porgies look like,
It looks like a weird cross between like a cow, a chicken, and a penguin.
and a Furby.
I think they said they're based on like puffins or something.
So that's a spoiler if you don't want to hear about Star Wars.
That's like saying, "Don't show me a picture of what Chewbacca looks like. I want to be surprised."
Which one's Chewbacca? Are there any like spoilers? Kind of what happened? Like, oh, well, at the end there was a fun thing that happened. If there is a spoiler, this is a spoiler. The end. So Gru is good the whole time, and then his brother at the end is like, I'm going evil. So he like takes that like whatever car or ship, whatever he has, and takes it off. And Gru's like, I'll give him like a 10-second start. So
That's cute.
I am going to assume, I guess we'll get into this and what's coming next. But that was a fun like, oh.
How do you think they would expand the family again, since that's kind of the theme of all these movies?
I don't know if that's what their goal is though.
That's
Like I didn't think about that until you brought it up.
But now that I brought it up, haven't you?
Yeah, but I don't think it's necessary. I think maybe just like keep that family close. Maybe I don't know. I mean, you saw in Drew's giant ass house all of like the family member statues, you know?
Mhm.
So like I don't know, bring one of those people in.
Despicable Me 4 family reunion. Just get them all in.
Yeah, well that I feel like that's like the last one then.
Yeah, if they bring
But-
Trey Parker back, I'm in.
They set it up as I'll give him a 10-second start, so it's gonna be he's the next villain. So that's
Yeah.
I mean, either way, I'm sure he'll be back in some capacity.
Yeah.
If they do make another. Well, they are almost certain to make another.
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I love these movies.
I'm fine with that until they're no longer funny.
Anytime the mains are on, I'm happy. What would you change about this if we're just moving on?
Nothing.
yeah.
I mean, these are just cartoons.
I ain't
It's
got
so
nothing
good.
for this.
Yeah.
Cartoons just have a totally different caliber of critiquing. It's like I have less expectations. It's just literally like, am I entertained or am I just frustrated sitting through this?
Sure.
That's pretty much it.
I feel you. Where is this going? I'm assuming that they're making Despicable Me 4 with Drew as the villain. Maybe something was announced. Did I miss that?
Not to my knowledge.
I'm not exactly up on those Despicable Me forums checking for news, but I could start.
On Reddit.
Google it.
I mean, I think at least Zach and I are super down for the next one if it's happening, Mike.
I mean, I'll watch it, yeah.
So it's a no for you.
As part of this.
Great. Would you well, go ahead, my friend.
Like, I just feel like they're probably going to take their time making a fourth with this, just because they may have oversaturated the market with the series by having Despicable Me 2 and then very quickly the Minions movie come out, like with not a lot of time in between. Then we had Despicable Me 3, so I imagine we probably won't see a sequel or something similar within the next maybe 2 years.
Again, that's kind of the thing about all these movies, Captain Underpants included, is that it's the equivalent of watching like Looney Tunes cartoons or Tom and Jerry, in that you don't necessarily need to have this great deep story.
No.
It's just a couple hours of, worthless entertainment.
Well, what I mean
And that's
more is
fine.
like, think about the time it took between Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. Like,
Was that
Go ahead.
that's a lot deeper of a story though.
no, I mean, regardless of depth of story, I mean, they didn't want to do something they didn't need to do either. Or like, what's a better example? I guess Toy Story. Toy Story, they took a lot of time in between the movies rather than pump one out every year. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
But I think with Pixar specifically, they wait till the perfect moment. They're not gonna rush anything except for like Cars, maybe. But that shit sells. Those kids love those cars. But like with Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and now 4 is eventually coming out next. I think it's 2019. But
No idea.
they take their time with those movies. They do not want to rush those because those are like Oscar contenders, and also they're like. I mean, some of those movies are really some of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
Make you cry like a baby, like Up.
The Good Dinosaur. I don't think I've ever cried so hard in a movie in my life.
Really?
I was a sobbing mess.
Dude, the intro to Up gets me
Whoa.
every single time.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful film.
Yeah.
The music. Everything's perfect.
What would you nominate Despicable Me 3 for?
Best animated feature.
Okay.
High Noon Award for Gru versus Balthazar. Best romance, Gru and Lucy.
Cute.
And most rock and music. I appreciate a little 80s snippets.
Yeah. Okay.
That it?
Yeah, I think the only thing that might be able to beat this for most rock and music would be Death Note.
Oh my god. You're my lady.
I have this also for best animated feature film. Best voiceover work for Steve Carell as Gru/Drew. Funniest moment, said it earlier, the Minions American Idol scene. I forgot to say that. That was so funny when they did literally just American Idol.
Yeah.
It was great. And the Minion jail scene, that whole montage, tattoo in the butt, lifting weights that the guys are actually lifting for them. It's great. Best movie poster, not the one of them facing off with each other. There's one of a Minion in its jail costume, and it's really great. Like you said, most rock and music, and then the most memorable moment,
this,
aka
Max.
the Fields Award, fuck you, is Mel's flashback. If you remember that, it was one of the Minions' flashbacks. Where he,
where
First meets Gru.
he like falls on his knee or whatever, and Gru's
yeah,
giving him Band-Aid and all that.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it
cute.
was really sweet.
That's sweet.
That was sweet. Michael,
Can this be a new segment? Max's memorable moments.
Max's memorable moments, yeah.
Just looking back, I play like some sweet music over it.
Yeah, right.
You're my lady.
So for me, I got this Steve Carell, actor in a leading role. Also Trey Parker in a leading role because he played a pretty big part. Or would you say
Sure.
supporting? I don't know. I'm saying leading for that.
You do you.
Best CGI or
First rule,
most
there are no
believable,
rules.
bleh. Most believable CGI. Just like spit all over myself. Most complex villain. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna give it to him.
He definitely had like some deep psychological issues that are like.
He was very much like what's
So
his name from The
good, though.
Incredibles? You know what I'm talking about? Like
Psy something.
Syndrome.
yeah,
yeah,
Syndrome. Because
Syndrome.
like they messed him up as a kid, or like Mr. Incredible, and now he's like coming back for vengeance. Same kind of character. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I like the movie poster. I think it's a good like color combination, the black and the white. Besides like the orange.
Bringing
of the
colors into
letters.
this, that's lovely.
Whoa,
Thanks, Mike.
we're getting deep here. And
Going
here's a different one. Worst kept secret. Drew is a super villain, or is trying to be. He is not a pig farmer, even though they spend like 15 minutes of the movie on that.
Was
There's a
this,
pig farmer,
they said that right in the trailers though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Worst kept secret.
All right.
Get it?
All right.
Yeah.
I get it. These are your nominations, my friend.
I'm just saying, at the end of the year, I want to see Balthazar on the most complex villains list.
We will get there when we get there. Best picture?
Nah, not
No.
best picture.
No, but for sure up for best animated.
Best
I think.
animated, yeah, I'll give it. I mean, again,
There's lots of
I-
other ones, but this was great.
I love DC animated films, but this is still potentially up for best animated.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good for you.
Final scores.
I give it 4.
3.5.
I also gave it 4.
Damn.
All right.
Next movie.
Oh god, we're getting into the Lego movies now.
Woo, Lego
There we
movies!
go. Now I'm excited.
Okay.
Now is when you're excited.
Lego Batman. Mike, what was Lego Batman about?
Oh man, this is a good one. Lego Batman is about Batman, and he's been Lego-fied. Do you like my descriptions? Okay, whatever.
We're gonna have some serious conversations on you understanding what plot means.
No, this is why it's so good.
These
descriptions are literally my favorite part of the podcast.
So Lego Batman is just another story about Batman with Lego's own twist on it. And, you know, they live in this world where everything's destructible or constructible. And he's got a complicated relationship with the Joker. We've got a little twist here. The Joker's kind of like a jealous girlfriend almost.
That's true.
Batman's alone. He has no sidekicks until Michael Cera, playing Robin, comes into his life. And we kind of go from there, dealing with the Joker and his hijinks, his evil hijinks.
Yeah. So...
Right, Max?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, this is just, I really, really love this movie. Like,
Me too.
eye candy, music, like,
Wait, go back to eye candy. What?
I can't, every detail in these Lego movies are amazing.
Oh, I agree with you.
Like, the first movie was spectacular.
That was a game changer.
Game changer. And, like, I feel like with this one, they really stepped it up. Like, the camera work is crazy. I don't know how they make the effects that they do, whether they throw in some CGI.
I think it's all stop motion, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's like, I mean, some things I don't think they can pull off with stop motion. I mean, listeners, correct me if I'm wrong on comments or something, but like, it's insane what they can do with the Legos. It's absolutely insane, and I was blown away by like every single shot between like the bat plane like changing into the lunker or I forget what it was called. It was like a ape bat thing.
I don't know.
And just the way it like shifts, and then there's the fire and like the smoke effects. It was crazy.
I agree.
So Mike and Max will know that I am an obsessive Batman fan. I have almost an encyclopedic knowledge of Batman. I think the only person in this world that might be a bigger Batman fan than me is Kevin Smith, but he literally wrote comic books, so he's kind of got an edge on me. I like this movie because ultimately it's a satire on Batman as a character.
Sure.
It makes fun of who Batman is as a character. It makes fun of his previous movies. It makes fun of his relationships, because Batman very much plays this, you know, I don't work with anyone. I'm, you know, I don't trust anyone.
Alone.
Yeah, I mean,
Can you say that in Will Arnett's voice?
I can't. But
I work alone.
That wasn't too bad. It's kind of scary.
Like, do you guys remember the Justice League cartoon from the like 90s,
Yes.
or early 2000s or whatever?
Yeah.
Wait.
You-
Just as friends?
No,
Or-
Justice League.
Okay.
So after the first episode, right, all the superheroes get together to fight the aliens, and Superman's like, hey, we should set up some sort of league for justice. And every character's like, I'm in, except for Batman. Batman's like, no thanks, but you can call me if you need help. Then they rehash that in Batman Beyond, where they brought the futuristic Justice League. And they asked Terry, they're like, hey, do you want to join us? And he's like, no thanks. And Superman makes a comment, he's like, you're more like Bruce than I thought. Even as big as the Bat family is in comics,
Which is massive. by
which
the
is
way.
massive at this point,
There's like actually way too many Bat characters now.
but Batman still always has this idea of like, I don't want to work with anyone, I don't trust anyone. I mean, even the whole there's a whole Tower of Babel storyline in the comics where Bruce has a plan to destroy every member of the Justice League, and somehow Ra's al Ghul actually gets access to these plans and just destroys all the members of the Justice League. So implying Batman doesn't even trust the other members of the Justice League. So this kind of like took a fun twist on it and was just like, Batman's kind of an asshole.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it really played off this theme of he's lonely and you know, he doesn't want a sidekick. He doesn't want he wouldn't even admit that the Joker is his real arch enemy.
So good.
Yeah, it is hilarious. And I mean, did you guys even catch like the Suicide Squad reference?
Yes.
They even by name mention them.
There's a lot of like really good subtle jokes in this. The Suicide Squad one I'm talking about is Killer Croc's underwater to like hit a bomb at the beginning. And he says, "Look at me, I'm actually doing something."
Yeah. It's brilliant.
And I think part of that is the director, Chris McKay, who is supposedly directing a live action Nightwing movie.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is like a comedy. A Nightwing movie would be like serious.
Sure.
I thought this movie was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I was laughing like the entire time. Like you're talking about him being lonely. He walks into the Batcave and is like, "I'm home. I'm home. I'm home."
Talk about trailers. The background music that they just did for "One is the loneliest." No, it's so good. Literally, it made fun of every like, and I'm not as well knowledgeable as Batman as you are, but like it just made fun of all of the things that he's like known for doing, and they just like poke and poke until it like bleeds, but it bleeds so well.
It's kind of like when you read Batman comics, you get this. It's like Batman's this emo kid who's really dark and depressed. This movie was kind of like the other kids in the high school that make fun of the emo kid.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
The Justice League, there's this movie there's this scene about halfway through where the Justice League is having a party without Batman.
They don't invite him.
At the Fortress of Solitude. He's like, "Oh yeah, Superman, he's gonna be alone. We could totally like just distract him and like get the portal gun." And then he like knocks on the door. There's like rave lights. There's like music.
Wonder
You know how
Woman's
many, like,
there, Aquaman's there.
You know how many big actors they have for like subtle like Justice League members? Like even small members? Like I think Superman was Channing Tatum.
Conan O'Brien was the Riddler. Billy D. Williams was Two-Face.
Zach Galifianakis is the Joker, obviously.
Oh, Seth Green is King Kong.
Yeah,
these
these
Channing
people had
Tatum was
maybe,
Superman.
like-
You're right.
They had like 2 lines, maybe.
Jonah Hill, Green Lantern.
Doug Benson, Bane. Well,
Wait,
that's when,
everyone shut up. Mariah Carey was the mayor.
Yeah.
Eddie Izzard was Voldemort. Like honestly,
I was
this is
kind of
crazy.
mad that Ray Fiennes wasn't Voldemort. But he was great as Alfred. But I think that would have just been great if he was Voldemort.
So,
I felt like
imagine-
Alfred was one of the funniest parts.
Oh yeah, I also love that spoiler. He ended up becoming like a superhero.
Yeah.
60s Batman or whatever it was.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they all like chose like they had like the thing of costumes, like, oh, here's 60s Batman, and then they had like the flashback to all of the movies.
Oh yeah.
That was so good. And then they did like didn't they show one from the 60s with Adam West, like actual like live action like of him? Wasn't it the one of him dancing or something?
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
They did
Fucking brilliant.
They did Lego versions of a bunch of the intros to various movies, or there was the
Like
television
all of the
show.
other ones.
There's like the Lego Batman of the Batman animated series by Steven Spielberg. I thought that was a nice little cameo or Easter egg there.
Mm-hmm. It was just so smart. These Lego movies are so smart. The writing's great. They get it. Drew, who writes for The Probe, he is also he's like an avid Lego person, and he thought this was better than the Lego movie, which I thought was very interesting because I thought the Lego movie was a masterpiece.
So I actually didn't see the Lego movie, but
Whoa.
I read and heard a few things about it.
So worth it.
Wept at the end.
Really?
Oh my!
I mean, it was really sad, but
Any father figure, I'm done.
yeah,
Okay.
got me
Yeah,
there.
that's what I was gonna get into. What is it with all these movies having these weird like father-son relationships?
Well, some of them.
It's
I
easy.
mean, like Toy Story has the
No, I mean
mother-
all three of the Lego movies deal with that.
Oh, yeah, but that's just it's a common trope with like children's movies to have like how do I explain it? So
I mean-
it's like they have family problems a lot in children's movies so that the children who are watching themselves can like kind of overcome that.
Yeah, but that
So like you got to think about the number of children who are going to see this movie and they don't have that parent. They don't have either a mother or a father, or
but
they
it's
have
always
or
it's,
they have like a strained relationship.
it's
with
always
that
the relationship
person.
between the son and the dad though.
I
It's been
mean-
the same for all three. I mean, with Batman less so. But
Not at all. So it was just both of them died.
Yeah,
Which is not a spoiler,
Batman
because-
reinforces it because as we see Batman change through the movie, he
Wait,
goes
what are
from
you-
like a loner
what are you talking
to
about?
taking care of
Both of them
Robin.
died.
Batman's parents?
No, I'm talking about the relationship between Batman and Robin.
Oh.
Because Batman's kind of a shitty dad to Robin. And he's just like,
Got it.
oh yeah, I'm just going to use this kid. Like, he forgets that he adopted him.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, why are you in the cave? He's like, oh, do you live in Bruce Wayne's basement?
That's
Right.
not too
No, Bruce Wayne lives in Batman's attic.
That's not too far off from the. I mean, you said you had like almost an encyclopedic knowledge of Batman. That's kind of how he treats Robin. Like Robin tries to like warm up to Batman. He tries to, get under his wing and like learn from him. And like Bruce Wayne just treats him like shit.
Well,
That's why he becomes Nightwing eventually. doesn't he?
Bruce, to my knowledge, is pretty good to Dick.
Mhm.
Batman, though, is kind of an asshole to Robin because he puts him through this almost like military-esque like gauntlet. This is what I expect of you. Do what I say. But they didn't have that kind of authoritarian, almost military-like parenting. This was just kind of like oh, why are you here? And if anything, it was just kind of, I feel like, making fun of the fact that most people don't like Robin and don't like sidekicks.
I mean,
Which I disagree with.
I'd say the conversion would be it's a lighthearted take on that militant style.
Sure.
I mean, it's a kid's movie.
I don't know if I'd classify this as I guess it's a kid's movie, but like not really.
A lot of kids' movies appeal to everybody, though.
You're right.
It's a family movie.
Yeah.
It's a family.
Yeah,
it's not a kid's
family.
movie. It's for families.
All these are family movies.
Or it applies to everybody, I guess.
Did you guys like the inclusion of all the other pop culture villains?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Calendar Man. I love that.
No, I meant
I like
like
Condiment Man.
I meant like the Condiment King.
Sorry, excuse me.
I meant like King Kong and Voldemort and all
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
great.
It's so smart because they have access to all these people, so why wouldn't you use them?
Yeah.
They could literally make a Voldemort movie if they wanted to. They can make a Shaquille O'Neal movie.
They could do a whole Harry Potter Lego movie.
Yeah.
If
so like
they-
why wouldn't they?
if-
Introduce us now like they did in the Lego movie to Batman because that's
Is it
where
Will Arnett in the Lego movie too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
so we got introduced to him, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, Batman's so funny." Oh, okay, let's make this Lego Batman movie.
Wait, so are they in the same universe then? The Lego movie and the Lego Batman movie?
Kinda.
kind of, they're all like master builders. You kind of remember that from they might have mentioned it, and the big thing in the Lego movie is about you like this one Lego man has to like become a master builder in order to save the universe.
Okay.
So like it all is in the same kind of thing, but not.
So
It's
it
hard to
I get
describe.
It means he's like he can construct stuff really fast and really well, so it makes him like powerful in the Lego universe, sort of. But they all live in the same kind of world, but like in separate dimensions in a way. Because that's a big thing in the
Mhm.
first Lego movie is they go from like Lego City to like DC world to like some other worlds and stuff. There's Cowboy World, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And Batman isn't just like a side character who's kind of like there. We actually see he's like a pretty major character in that movie.
I might actually go back and watch it now.
You
Yeah,
should. It's great.
So good. I gave it 5 stars.
Okay.
That movie.
Being mostly a satire on Batman as a character, though, I feel like they could have just used Batman's rogues gallery and just made more jokes about Batman characters.
I mean, they did a lot
I was gonna
already.
say, didn't they kind of do that?
You feel like they really ripped on the villains, though?
Oh yeah,
That also was the point of the movie.
They had like a whole thing where the Joker's listing villains. And I mean, you would know better than me, but like some of them were fake, right?
No, he even drops that line when he's in the plane. He's like,
No, yeah.
the pilot's like, "There's no way these are all villains." He's like, "No, they really are. It's worth a Google."
Yeah, it's worth a Google search.
Like, I appreciate that, like, kind of meta humor.
So wait, is Condiment King like an actual?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You gotta be fucking with me.
We'll pull this up.
I mean, Calendar Man, like that one really threw me for a loop coming from playing the Arkham Asylum games, but Condiment King? Is he like Mr. Freeze, but he has ketchup and mustard guns? Oh my god.
So Zach is pulling up a picture,
Oh my god.
and I think this is my spirit animal, ladies and gentlemen. I am gonna make the background of my life Condiment King.
is real? What?
Condiment King
And that's
is
such
real.
that's such a deep cut.
I thought that was
So well job to them.
I
well,
thought
good
that was
job.
a great joke.
I did too.
I didn't
I didn't do my
know it was
research
real.
well enough. I'm so happy that is a real character.
No, whoever wrote this was clearly a real Batman fan. I appreciate that. But they could have ripped on the Riddler for Jim Carrey playing the Riddler. They could, you know how many Bane jokes are online?
But they could.
I'm pretty sure his voice was a joke.
Oh yeah, but that wasn't the point of the movie. Like, they could have.
Are you sure?
Yes, the point wasn't to make fun of all the villains. It was like to tell a story of like the father son kind of thing and the Joker's relationship. So like I think they did enough jokes. Sure, they could have added more, but like that wasn't the point. It was just to make fun of these villains and just throw in memes.
See, but I don't even think the father-son thing was as... I think the father-son aspect of this is just a coincidence.
Oh, I don't.
I think it was mostly a satire on Batman as a character, because Batman films have gotten increasingly dark and Batman is DC's poster child.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun to see them make fun of it.
As he says in the beginning, I made DC.
Yeah. So him and his relationship with Robin, I feel like, was just more of a reflection of his, like, I work low, no one's working with me kind of thing.
Sure.
I disagree. I think it's just a lighthearted take on like what you're talking about, but it's like a way to translate that into what this is. You know, like a Lego movie with Legos, toys, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, I just love this movie so much. Like, I feel like even the people who made it probably had a great time making it. Like, think of the writers like trying to cobble together all these jokes and like, I don't know.
Would you guys change anything else?
I wouldn't change anything to this
No.
movie. I really loved it. I think that they did. We'll get to Ninjago in a minute, but the Lego movies have really, really done amazing work. Their animation is second to none, and it's no, I wouldn't change. Not that I can think of that I would just like, no, that needed to change. I think it was just so fun.
It was perfect. Like, I mean, it's hard to say perfect because there are no perfect movies, but this is just so good. Like, there's nothing I could change about it because it's not that kind of movie either. Like, it had me laughing the entire time, and it was just good entertainment. It was great.
All right.
You would change more jokes.
I would have gotten rid of the other characters and just focused on Batman specific characters. I also don't know if I would have this is me getting really picky, but I don't know if I would have changed the mythos as much as they did. With like Robin just being a regular orphan and like Batgirl, like that was not at all an accurate representation of who Barbara Gordon is.
I guess.
I mean, it's
But none of it was an accurate.
You're right, but there was ways they could have stuck to the basics of the mythos, but still made fun of the characters. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think they did that pretty well for the most part. But you are much more, again, knowledgeable than I am. So you're like, oh yeah, they could have done that with this thing. It's like, I get that, but I don't know.
Like-
I thought it was great.
Like, I know Batman doesn't recruit Batgirl. Batgirl just kind of decides that she wants to be Batgirl because of Batman's influence, and she just kind of goes out and does her own thing.
Mm.
Why didn't they just make her like an obsessive fan?
Mm.
Like, that would have been funny.
They could have done that too. I think the way they did it was just as good, but that's another way they could have done it.
Again, you're wrong, but it's okay.
Okay.
Where is this going?
Well, obviously more Lego movies.
Hopefully,
Has to be.
Hopefully more.
Think we'll get a Lego Batman too?
I would like to see like
Absolutely.
that.
I mean, they could literally do anything. They have the rights to every single thing.
But do you think
ever.
they will go to other properties, or do you think
They should.
we'll get another straight up Lego Batman?
I think both. Be stupid not to.
Yeah.
There's
also,
no reason they shouldn't.
I don't want them to make too many though. I feel like if they start trying to pump it out too much, they're going to lower the quality of like the animation or the writing.
We got 2 this year.
I guess
Lego
yeah.
movies
Actually,
in
no,
1
you're
year.
right. What the fuck am I saying?
They're already pumping them out. Do they have any more
Yeah.
Lego movies announced?
Not that I know of, but
I
should.
love like how well made these are. Like the like I lived off Legos when I was a kid.
Oh, me too.
I literally ate them for sustenance.
Dude, Star Wars Legos were my shit.
like, make that a movie.
Yeah.
I'd watch the shit out of
I
that.
would watch
Lego
that.
Star
I
Wars.
would go crazy.
Hell,
Oh,
we already got the Family Guy Star Wars special.
Dude, still to this day, admittedly, I'm 24 years old and I still like to buy Star Wars Lego sets
Mm-hmm.
because I find building like a spaceship or whatever like the most therapeutic thing you can do. Just turning off your brain and going through that little instruction booklet to build like someone else telling me what to do for once is just refreshing.
Oh man, why did Toys R Us have to go bankrupt?
Don't say that.
Let's do a trip. Let's go.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, they are making Lego Movie 2. That was announced a while ago.
Okay.
Thank God, because that movie was
Beautiful.
just so. You have to watch it tonight. Would you recommend it?
I would recommend this to anyone that's a fan of Batman. Again, I'm obsessed with Batman, but it's kind of like you gotta laugh at yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta laugh at your heroes too.
I would recommend this to anybody and everybody. I thought it was so amazing.
I agree. I don't think you have to be a Batman fan to enjoy this. I think you can enjoy this and have no idea what Batman is. Just be like, this is great. I'm having a great time.
If you understand all the Batman jokes, though, you're gonna appreciate it that much more.
Of course.
Yeah.
But just someone like, I don't know, random person be on the street, I would say, yes, watch this. Do you know do you like know anything about Batman? Yeah, sure, he's a superhero. Great, watch it.
You could probably show it to your dad and he'd think it was funny.
Agreed.
My dad introduced me to comics.
Oh, there you go. All the more
say
reason.
everyone go see it. It is a family movie. It has great humor throughout. Nominations.
I actually only, as much as I like this movie, I actually only gave it 1 nomination.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Okay, well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Best voice acting, Ray Fiennes as Alfred.
You're drunk.
His voice was very smooth. I appreciate him as Alfred. How come we don't see Ray Fiennes in more stuff?
Who?
We do.
Like what?
Ray
Besides this, I can think of 3 things he's done. Harry Potter, obviously. He did Red Dragon, where he was a crazy serial killer.
I mean, he was just, he did Grand Budapest Hotel. He did Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh, that's right. James Bond.
Hail Caesar, James Bond.
He was in all the Daniel Craig James Bonds, right?
I think so.
Or at least like the last 2.
I mean, I could watch him do anything. I recently watched Schindler's List. I recently watched,
He's in Schindler's List?
Mhm.
Oh, shit.
yeah, I think he either won an Oscar or was nominated for one.
Hmm.
What was the other movie that I just watched him with?
Do you think
whatever.
because of him playing Voldemort, he's been typecast as kind of a villain now? Cause
Maybe, and maybe that's why he's doing animation to like get his like other side. But like, the last Harry Potter movie was 2011.
I don't know. He definitely did Red Dragon before that, though.
Well, okay. Regardless, Deathly Hallows Part 2 was in 2011, and then he did Grand Budapest Hotel, where he was not a villain, but he was a genius in that.
So Red Dragon, where he plays a serial killer, was in 2002.
Wow, that's a long time.
So
ago.
2002 to 2011, he's playing villains. And the reason I bring this up is, like, you're right. He's done other stuff, and like the other stuff that I think of is James Bond, where he's clearly a good guy. And most people are like, he's in James Bond? What?
Sure.
But he's a really good actor. Like, don't just have him be villains. Have him be anyone else.
Daniel Craig, James Bond, or something older? Oh, okay.
He's like his supervisor or something.
Gotcha.
I mean, he was nominated for 2 Oscars, which don't matter because it's the Uranus Awards. But no, that man, he's brilliant. I think he's brilliant. Yeah, so I feel you on the voice.
That's my only
I gotcha.
that's my only award.
Interesting. I have it as a top contender for Best Animated Feature Film. Best Voiceover Work, Will Arnett as Batman, Michael Cera as Robin/Dick, and Zach Galifianakis as the Joker. I don't have Ray Fiennes on that list, but I still love him and I appreciate everything he does.
You done fucked up.
My opinion's wrong. It's okay, I understand. Absolutely 100% most believable CGI. Again, top contender. Funniest moment, all of Will Arnett being dumb. It's hard to pinpoint anything because I think everything he did was. I'll say, I'm home, because I can picture him in the studio doing that. It's like, I'm home. Okay, now Will, say it a little softer. Sorry, I'm home. Okay, a little louder. And whatever. Best movie poster, most rock and music. The Lego Movies nailed these rock and music. They won an Oscar for it. Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome. Best DC film.
We haven't even seen Justice League yet.
I have it. Okay.
I mean, you could
but still,
nominate that too.
I for sure have it for the best DC film, aka the They Did It award, and top contender for best trailer.
You liked this better than Wonder Woman?
I didn't say that. I just think that this is in contention for it. No question asked.
I would agree with that.
Boom.
This is like a totally separate conversation, but I feel like for the best Marvel movie and the best DC movie, like you gotta pick which one you think is the best to nominate. That's why I've never nominated one for it yet.
But we'll talk about it at the end of the year and decide.
Because there's gonna be more than one.
Yeah, we got multiple DC movies.
Well, yeah, like if I pick one and then you pick one, then we fight over it. But
yeah, and we
people
will
vote, but
and we'll see what happens.
I mean, there's only so many DC films that came out this year.
Well, for counting animated, you got a whole lot.
It's true.
Yeah, but those weren't that good.
Boom.
Boom, roasted.
Here is, before I get into my nominations, here's something we probably should have talked about before the show. Can we nominate this for believable CGI? Like, we don't have a practical effects award.
Do you believe that those were real Legos? Does that count?
I mean, they were real Legos. Like, it was not. It's stop motion. We know for a fact that they're real.
That would count. I think that's just best animated.
Best special effects in general, I guess.
Best.
I would say it's practical effects, but you know, I'm gonna give it CGI anyway, just for
I did
the
too.
effects in general.
That's yeah. Maybe we should. We'll fix that next year. Try to like make that clearer.
Trial and error.
Trial and error, my friends.
Wait, what was that I was gonna throw out there? Hold on, wait 1 second. My brain farted.
Best Marvel film.
Best DC film. Actually, that's definitely on mine. Will Arnett, for leading actor. Michael Cera, I guess he's a leading actor too. And I'll give Rosario Dawson for Batgirl, leading actress.
All right.
And of course Zach Galifianakis too. Camera work, best animated feature film. Voiceover work, of course, for all the same people. Funniest moment. I hate to spoil a joke, but it's so good. It was fucking Robin talking to Batman for like one of the first times, and he's like, "Oh yeah, everybody calls me Richard Grayson, but the kids call me Dick." And then Will Arnett's like, "Oh, kids could be so cruel."
There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Zach and I are just sitting here, and Mike is losing it.
I was dying. It
No,
was
but that's
so
a really good
good.
part. I agree with you.
Another fun little Easter egg that maybe some people didn't catch on was Billy D. Williams voiced Two-Face. So in the original Tim Burton 1989 Batman,
He was gonna do
he played Harvey Dent. But then
Oh, that's right.
after Joel Schumacher took over, Joel Schumacher cast Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
So he
So
got
he-
his moment.
Even though they're supposed to be in the same universe, for some reason Harvey went from being a black guy to a white guy. But they kind of, gave him the chance to get that role, I
Is that
guess.
would you nominate that for Easter egg?
I think it counts as an Easter egg, right?
Absolutely. For that, I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but
Oh, that had to have been on purpose. There's no way it wasn't.
so I would count that as an Easter egg.
All right.
Stanley Award.
I'd count that as best Easter egg. Billy D. Williams is Two-Face.
I like that.
My Easter egg would definitely be the Lego version of the Batman animated series.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah.
Church choir. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, that was my shit when I was growing up too.
All
Not just
right.
Legos, but
This episode is sponsored by Starbucks. Yes, pumpkin spice.
Oh.
On to our last movie. I have to make a confession.
wait.
Oh wait, no, sorry.
I'm
Were you not
sorry.
done?
No, wait. Well, we're not done. Best
Scores?
picture.
Oh, sorry,
yes or no.
sorry.
Nah.
And also the scores, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I like this movie, but nah.
I'm gonna give it best picture.
Good for you.
I really
Wow.
liked it.
Wow.
for you.
Oh
Putting
my
it up there.
god.
I love that. I would not give it best picture, but it is a top contender for best animated feature for me. But I love that you said yes.
5 stars.
You give it 5 stars?
I gave it 5 stars.
Fuck yeah, I love
Whoa.
that.
Yeah.
Good for you. Man, Mike, I love you.
There's nothing I didn't enjoy about this.
I give it 4.5 only because I didn't like it as much as the Lego movie. Other than that, this movie was fucking phenomenal.
So, I think I messed up. I should have given this a higher score, but I'm not gonna go back and change it. I gave it a 3, but
What?
really I want to give it more.
So give it more.
It's too late. Max has already made the image for all of our social media.
If you could change it, what would you give it now?
Yeah.
After discussing.
Oh man, if I could change it, I would technically put a 4, but let me get anal here. It's like a 3.75. It's better than 3.5, but it's not quite a 4 for me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's annoying. I'll give it a 3.75. Yeah, fuck you.
Goddamn
It
right.
didn't really live up to my expectations.
But it almost did, so I'm gonna give it
That was a
3.75.
1.3.5.3.
How's that go?
Yeah.
On to the next movie. And I have to make my confession here.
You're not Catholic.
Yeah, get out of here. That's our thing.
Speaking of religion,
Who's
I don't know.
shut up. Speaking of religion, I was out of town this whole weekend for celebrating Yom Kippur, the Jewish holiday in Cleveland.
Oh, way to go, Max. Now we're gonna lose all of our racist followers.
Anti-Semitic, you mean?
Oh
Yeah.
my God, there's a Jew on the
I'm sorry,
Uranus
it's
Award.
way too late to think of actual words.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, 9:23, and so I literally was not able to see this movie, but I'm really excited because I think we're just kind of do this as like a guys, what just happened in this movie, and I'm
Oh.
excited. So
Well, you tried to see it. I'll give you that.
I actually tried to see it today between a couple things, but I literally could not. But
So,
I was very excited about this movie because I love the Lego movies, and I'll probably see it sometime in the next couple days. So, guys, tell me about this movie and what your thoughts were, and I'll probably ask questions.
I saw this movie on Saturday, and I still have no idea what the fuck it's about.
Well, good thing that Mike can tell us.
Okay, I saw this movie 3 hours ago.
Good man.
Yeah, about 3 hours ago. It was really fun. I liked it. Yeah, guys.
What's okay? I mean, I'm really.
Oh, shit, okay.
What's the movie about?
Oh, okay. Thank you for setting me up like that, because I kind of missed it. I'm sorry.
Gotta get up to speed.
Learn your cues, Mike.
Ever.
We don't have cue cards here.
Oh my god, guys. I don't have my pumpkin spice though. So Lego Ninjago
Oh man.
is about a group of kids who are just your typical high school teenagers living in Ninjago land, I guess they call it. And they have special powers. They're ninjas. They save the world. It's actually very similar to the Power Rangers. I'm pretty sure they riffed off that a
It
little
was a
bit.
total Power Rangers ripoff.
But the main character, Lloyd, Lloyd, was played by Dave Franco. His father is the bad guy. He's Garmondo.
Lord Garmadon.
Garmadon, that's it. And so his dad is trying to destroy / take over the town. And as I'm saying this, it sounds like most of these movies have the exact same plot. But what's important is presentation, not so much the plot, and that's okay. Okay.
Go on.
So we get a lot of the father-son relationship building that we've been
All of the other ones have.
yeah, kind of like that. We get like some mentorship, ninjutsu, ninja style stuff, karate from Jackie Chan, who I loved.
They had to learn the Ninjago because they were the Ninjago and lived in Ninjago. Everything in this movie was Ninjago. It made no sense at all.
Yeah, I mean it's to sell more of, because I guess there's a TV show going on too, or there was at some point, and there's
Really?
I mean, Ninjago's a very popular thing.
yeah, so
Really?
Like the Ninjago thing. Again, I haven't seen this movie yet, but it was a thing before it was a movie.
yeah,
These are very popular characters.
yeah.
Before I loved Legos. I still like Legos.
Mhm.
I have never heard of this before this movie.
Well, it's actually 3D animated for the show versus like the movie's still stop motion.
Are they still Lego characters in the show?
And yeah, there's still Lego characters and Lego everything in the show, but it's 3D. It's like actual like computer generated
Is it the same
graphics.
like characters like
I think so. Again,
Lloyd and Garmadon?
probably I have not been exposed to it whatsoever. I thought it like kind of looked dumb for like the couple seconds I've probably seen on YouTube.
Like Ninjago started in 2011.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But it's like a series in the Lego sets, kind of like, you know, they have Star Wars Legos, they have Lego City, they have
Do
Lego
they sell
whatever.
Bionicles?
I
Do
think
they
I see
still-
those in toy stores.
Do they still have Bionicles?
Those are so cool.
I used to
I'll
love
go to
Bionicles.
toy stores for fun. Well, kind of, but I take them with my kid. Not my kid, but.
Do you guys want to go to Toys R Us after this?
But they're
Isn't it closed?
yeah, they're closed. Remember?
They just opened up one a couple blocks from here.
Really?
Yes.
They got rid of the Times Square one.
There's a
Anyway.
new one in Times Square.
What? No, you're fine. Okay,
I shit you
we'll
not.
check that out later.
All right.
But back to Ninjago.
Hi, Tyler.
Hey. Yeah. It was fun. Max, what did you think?
Very good.
Oh, wait.
Okay, dickwad.
Why don't you ask us a question about the
Okay.
movie?
Let me break this down.
Well, I don't have a time to because Zach wants to talk.
Zach's non-spoiler likes. It was a good voice cast. Zach's
Zach didn't
non-spoiler
like this movie,
dislikes.
apparently.
Everything else. I didn't like the characters. The story made no sense.
Oh, my God.
It was the same crappy father-son relationships I've seen for the last 3 movies.
Why am I on this podcast again?
Are we getting into spoilers? Because I have more dislikes.
I mean, we kind of made this just a spoilers, non-spoilers episode. So
Okay,
like,
I didn't like the giant cat. I didn't like that.
Oh, I can't wait to watch this now. I'm so happy that I'm hearing the spoilers now.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't like that. Who was this for? Because it didn't seem like it would be fun for kids or for adults.
What are you smoking?
I'm not smoking anything.
Then what am I
And
smoking?
what was the story of this? Were they playing with Legos? Was it literally just... Because the movie starts off with it's live action. A kid walks into an old Chinese store filled with antiques.
Ooh, that's fun.
And live action Jackie Chan takes out a little wooden Lego figure, which makes no sense at all, and says, "Let me tell you the story of Ninjago."
Brilliant. Yeah.
It's cute though. It's
you
adorable.
have to see
So-
the first Lego movie. It'll make a lot more sense.
So what, this kid just walks into a shop and this random stranger starts playing Legos with him?
You gotta watch the first Lego movie.
But I don't even know if they were playing. Were they just talking? And if he's telling a story, why did he have to tell the story with Legos? Why couldn't he just tell the story?
So
There's
like
a Lego movie.
a good portion of the first Lego movie is there's like live action bits because like they are like the toys.
That's a big spoiler though, because that's at the very.
No, I heard that. I heard that.
So
Okay.
so like in Legoland, there's like a whole bunch of stuff going on. They live their own like lives and everything, but then there's kind of, I mean, I guess I'm not sure if it's the kid was playing with the Legos or if they were just doing it themselves, but like there's the live action bits was what I was trying to say.
Well, what were the... Okay, so you said pretty much everything you need to say.
Yeah.
And Mike, what do you have to say about this? Likes, dislikes, as far as everything?
I thought it was enjoyable. I loved the father-son relationship between the villain and Lloyd. I thought it was cute and funny, and they really laid on the what's the word? The degenerate father, the motif. Yeah, well, the stereotype of the father who like leaves and like is just a bad dad. Is like, who taught you how to catch? Oh, nobody, you weren't there.
I did appreciate the line where he's like, "How can you hate me? I wasn't even in your life."
Yeah,
Which is in the trailer.
I thought this movie. It feels mean to compare it to Batman, but I thought it was almost as funny. Not quite so.
Oh no!
But,
I laughed I chuckled maybe once during this
I thought it was
movie.
pretty funny. It got me a few times.
No, for the most part, I was checking my watch. I'm like, "When's this over?"
Like Lego Batman was a riot for me, but this one, not
It's so much worse.
I thought it was good.
You know, we actually have to wrap up here because I'm hungry.
Nominations and scores.
Well, where's this going? Again, hopefully they make 10,000 more Lego movies. Yeah, nominations for you. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to add.
Oh, that's okay. I don't either.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Oh my
So
God.
no nominations?
Nah, nothing about it really
come
stuck
on.
out.
You're a piece of shit.
That is also true.
That's a fact.
Actor in a leading role, Jackie Chan.
Good man.
Voiceover work, CGI, because I guess we'll just say that,
Yep.
even though
That
it's
just
not
makes it
CGI.
easier.
Yeah. Because that was fucking amazing. The most complex film, actually, because that complicated relationship between the villain and his son.
Mm-hmm.
Most rockin' music, I guess. It was kind of fun in that regard.
Great.
Not quite Rick Astley and Batman, but pretty good. And yeah, I guess that's it. We'll call it at that.
Final score.
What did I give this? Oh my god, hold on.
Best picture?
Because I
Obviously,
literally
you
just
know.
watched this like a couple
Would
hours
you
ago.
nominate this for Best Picture?
Oh, Mike has to give
No.
it a score right now.
No, I did give it a score. I promise.
Mike.
I promise. I'm
Wasting time.
sorry. 4.5.
Really?
Good for you,
There
brother.
you go. 'Cause
I gave it a 2.
You're a garbage pile of
I thought it was
poo.
almost as good as Batman, but not quite.
No,
That's all.
Go watch Lego Batman. I want to see the Lego movie now. I do not recommend this though. I want more Lego movies. I do, but this was just crap.
Yeah, I haven't seen it and you're wrong. But that's okay.
Of all 4 of these, this was the worst.
I would recommend it. I thought it was fun. Actually, I'm going to recommend it right now. Max, go watch this movie.
Of all 4 of these, what was your favorite and what was your least favorite?
My least favorite, I guess, would be Captain Underpants.
Okay.
But I still enjoyed that. Favorite is definitely Batman. Lego Batman.
Okay. Oh, you want me to say?
Yeah, go
my favorite
ahead.
was Despicable Me, honestly.
All right.
My least favorite was Ninjago.
Interesting. My favorite was Lego Batman. Least favorite was Despicable Me, but I still love Despicable Me.
All right.
And you'd probably also love Ninjago.
Yeah, none of these movies received a lower rating than 4 for me. I love animated movies. But to wrap up, I'm going to do what Xander usually says, but you can find us at our website, www.uranus-awards.com, and you can also get more information on the awards. And remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Uranus Awards, and you can also find us as we're leaving our homes. Some of us are in Washington Heights. Just kidding.
And where can they find us this weekend?
You can find Mike and Zach at Comic-Con, and guess what they'll be doing? Handing out stickers.
We got our
Finally
stickers.
got merch, y'all.
We're official.
So you can also find us on the streets of New York, probably handing out stickers. It'll be creepy, but
We are
we'll
going to
be
be
like, "Here, take
littering
this."
them everywhere.
Yeah, well, littering. We don't recommend littering because that's illegal. But do you feel like giving us money? Because you should. Head over to our Patreon page, give $1, give $100. It's great. And don't forget to view our live stream of the Uranus Awards on January 14th, 2018.
So I just want to clarify because we've been talking about this for a little bit. So Mike and I will be going to Comic-Con Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a booth. We are literally going to be walking around handing people stickers. If we approach you and you hear this in retrospect, we're sorry if we were weird. But if you see us handing out stickers and you are listening to this, come up and grab a few. You know, talk to us, take pictures for the social media. We'd love that.
Check it out. We want to meet you guys.
Oh, wait. Next week's episode. It's a huge one.
This is one I'm hyped for. Blade Runner.
Oh, my God. Fuck you. Blade Runner 2049. We're really excited for this one.
And we're going to see that at Alamo. All three of us.
Alamo
Jesus
Draft
Christ.
House. Hey, want to catch us at Alamo Draft House?
We will have stickers. We're just going to have stickers up with us 24/7 from now on.
Mike, take us away.
All right. It was good talking to you guys. Thanks for listening. This has been Going In Deep.